Hi guys, Anton here from Adventure Africa, and today we've got a very interesting product here. It is the 48 volt mild hybrid Hilux from Toyota. And I have to say it's kind of a conundrum for me because um, it's a mild hybrid. So it's not a full hybrid, but they call it something else, Tony.
It's the V-Active technology.
So what does that mean actually? I mean, you were talking about generators and what have you. So explain.
Well, like you mentioned there, it's a mild hybrid. It's not a full hybrid as we know with some other vehicles. So it's very simply what happens is the alternator, as we commonly know it, is replaced by a generator. The generator is a 48 volt generator which supplies power to a lithium battery which is located on the back seat, underneath the back seat. The power then goes into a DC-DC and changes that down to 12 volts. So 12 volt gives you your lights and your hooters and things like that. But the rest of it is 48 volts, which obviously runs through the generator and regenerates power. So under braking, regenerates power, charging the battery.
And then this thing has also got this little stop start thing that I've noticed. And um, for me, it's actually an irritation. Whenever I get into a vehicle with stop start, I switch it off. It's the first thing that I do and try and find a way to keep it off.
Well, supposedly stop start is there for fuel economy. It supposedly does improve on it. This vehicle has got a two setting stop start. So you've got a short setting and a long setting. The short setting, obviously, if you're in traffic, so you've got the short stops, it switches off very quickly and then starts immediately. You touch the accelerator. The long stop, it takes a little bit longer to switch off and then stays off for longer.
The thing is, Tony, I heard Hilux and I heard hybrid. And 2 weeks ago, I was with another brand and we drove their hybrid 4x4s. And I have to say that the control you had, because of the fact that you've got maximum power, maximum torque, you don't have to wait for the power band to kick in to do anything. But you had so much control going over obstacles, through sand, what have you. And even then, I thought, you know what? I don't do the EV thing. I do EV is
Yeah.
not going to work for me for overlanding. But hybrid, yes. And today with the technology where you can now with a hybrid actually chuck a 3.5 ton caravan behind it. Not that we're ever going to do that. Um, it makes more sense the hybrid technology for overlanding than EV because EV you have to find a place where you can charge it. But hybrid
It's brilliant.
it works.
It's
And I
brilliant.
mean, you imagine you're driving down a little dust gravel road and there's lions and you can switch it onto EV and just crawl quietly. The
Makes a
only
lot.
thing you're going to hear is that
Well,
of the sand
yeah,
underneath your
that makes
tires.
a lot of sense, eh?
That makes sense. But mild hybrid, that you cannot switch this electric motor on and that is driving you. The engine,
It's still idling.
the internal combustion engine, 2.8
Yeah.
diesel, is still working.
So it
That is
hasn't
what
been
you need.
so it hasn't been replaced by an electric motor
No.
like in the full hybrids. So we're still running off the motor as such. Supposedly, it's giving us a better fuel consumption.
Well, Toyota claims it's about 10% better than standard, but I'm also not seeing that really. Maybe I'm not doing it wrong. Maybe I'm not my drive style is not the right way.
We, well, I don't know. Yeah, we obviously also have a quicker acceleration of it. Not much, but there is a slightly quicker acceleration. And Toyota also tell me that it is a smoother takeoff till you start hearing the motor. So the very first section of pull off, you hardly hear the engine, and only then we start hearing our common 2.8 motor that we know. And in this one, 150 kilowatts, so same engine.
Well, here's the other thing. You did some research before we jumped into this vehicle today, and the one thing that you mentioned to me on the way here is the waiting depth,
The
which is
way,
interesting.
yeah, the wading depth they're giving us a 700 millimeter wading depth, which is very impressive considering or compared to the other Hiluxes. So we have an increase in that. They're also saying that the battery is well protected, and I don't know if it's the generator that can cope with maybe the water. The air intake still remains at the same height, so I'd still be nervous. 700 mils is deep.
But okay, so we've chatted about this whole engine and everything, the mild hybrid and stuff, but the one thing no one is talking about,
Wow.
and that's actually the thing that I like about this vehicle,
comes
really a lot,
Here comes the excitement.
is the multi-terrain selection. I mean,
Brilliant.
now all of a sudden you can choose mud, rut, sand, and all those things. And I'm thinking to myself, you've got it in this vehicle.
Why not?
Why didn't you guys also put it in the GRS Generation 3? I mean, that would have made a lot of sense. Now you've got it in a mild hybrid. You lose a cup holder.
Oh, yeah, of course yes. But I mean, well, cup holders, we buy cars for cup holders, don't we?
But a multi-terrain selection in a Hilux, I mean, it's unheard of.
It's brilliant. It's a fantastic system, and it works in high range and low range. So if you're doing heavy rocks, you'd obviously be in the low range mode. But if you're doing ice and snow or sand, you want to be in high range. So it works. It really is an amazing system. But yes, fantastic that it's in this car and not in the others yet.
It is weird that it's in this car and not in the GRS. I don't understand why though.
No, I don't buy it yet, but we'll hear what they say.
But yeah, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a drive and we'll continue the discussion inside. But first, we're going to play a little bit here and just see if we can feel a difference in the off-road capability, if there's anything that we can pick up. But, Tony,
Very exciting.
a
Can't wait.
mild hybrid Hilux.
48 valves. No,
So,
not
48
valves.
volts.
V-active technology.
Okay,
Okay, guys, what we got is a multi-terrain select, which is really brilliant because in high range, it works on dirt, sand, and deep snow. So in high range, we would be using those type of modes. If I had to select low range, so we're going to go to low range, obviously the gearbox in neutral, and I've got multi-terrain selected. I can have rock, mud, sand, and of course auto. Auto would be for your general use, just a little bit ups and down, a few gradients and things like that. If we move to sand, obviously it's an important one to choose because we don't want wheel spin in sand. So it almost retards the engine in that sense. And then of course if we move on towards mud, very, very similar to the sand without too much wheel spin. But the more important one being rock, increasing the power so that we can climb over rocks at a very, very low and gentle pace without too much wheel spin. So having these features is an amazing step up towards what this car can do. I've set it in rocks at the moment. Let's see, I haven't put the diff lock on, so I'm depending on the power to help me up this hill. I'm not doing the right thing by just idling up, because we normally would like momentum, but just to see how the rock multi-terrain select. We have the irritating PDC, which we need to switch off in off-road mode. And the car climbs up quite easily without any difficulty at all. So I'll set it in the rock there. So another feature that we got it is one we're all familiar with, and that is downhill control assist. Once again, if the diff lock is on, it's not working, which, as we discussed in a previous episode, why? So I've got hill descent control engaged, and let's see how it holds with this new 48 volt system. And works perfectly. Climb on the accelerator, obviously cancels, and a little bit of power just to get up this hill. Once again, a bit of traction control making it work. There we go. Awesome, everything works well.
Okay. So meneer Heer, in conclusion, 48 volt mild hybrid Hilux. I mean, the interior is kind of nice. I mean, we've got leather seats. We've even got electronic or auto up and down for the rear windows. But for example, we're sitting now in this, and it's kind of bright in here because there's no privacy glass in the back and a little bit of tinting here in the front. It's quite bright.
Very bright. Very strange it doesn't have tinting, eh?
It is, and I mean,
And we're not talking smash and grab. We're talking a
no,
tint.
just a little bit of a tint.
But we've got auto rear windows.
Yeah,
I mean, that is absolutely fantastic.
it is fantastic, but it's kind of like they decided, listen, we're going to put all this together in this vehicle, but they forgot about privacy. Okay, this is the Raider. This is not the Legend. It is not the top of the range spec that we've got available here in South Africa. So it is the Raider mild hybrid. There's a bit of a different grille in the front, that honeycomb thing.
Very sexy grill.
It's very nice. It's black. We've got black handles, and it does look a little bit different. The grille does look better. Just don't get stuck now there. But yeah, so but are you convinced?
You know,
What's your thought?
we spoke about it when we drove the GR. It's great to be back in familiar territory, and once again, same story here. It's nice to be in the same feel, and you know, as Hilux as we know it. But yeah, when we talk about the smoothness and the more acceleration, and I'm not 100% convinced.
We picked up that it's quieter when you started.
Brilliant, yeah.
There's not that half a second of whine. It's on. So there's that. Fuel consumption, I'm not sure if I'm convinced yet. Maybe, I don't know when the fuel consumption will really kick in. Is it on the open road? Is it in town?
Well, we've been doing a little bit of 4x4ing now, not much, but we're sitting on just over 9.5 litres per 100 kilometers. So,
Which is not bad.
Which is not bad if I compare it to my 2.8, which is around about the 8.5. So in theory, it's given me at this stage 1 litre more.
Well, 1 kilometer more per litre.
Yeah, 1 litre less. I mean, yeah.
1 litre less.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know if I would buy it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to really convince me to jump towards the 48 volt rather than just the normal standard. It does feel a bit smoother. I mean, I've driven my 2.8s with automatic gearboxes and my manual gearbox. This gearbox, as we're driving along here, there seems to be a little bit smoother because there's no jumping in the car. So if I just gently on the accelerator, there's no like forward lurch, and there's no like hiccuping, if you want to call it that.
I have to say, as a start for the whole hybrid systems in the Hilux range or the 4x4 range here in South Africa, I'm not convinced. I would be much more excited if this was a full hybrid, because I think that will make sense, especially for the guys that's doing 4x4ing and off-roading and overlanding. It does help that direct power from an electric engine, whereas this is not an electric engine for the vehicle. It's more of an electric system, because there is an electric motor in here that helps the start stop and the idling and stuff like that. But I mean,
yeah, you know, excuse me, we're talking about environmental issues and the future of what cars are. They're talking about the fuel stations going EV and all this type of stuff. Is this just baby steps that that Toyota are on, that we are going to get a hybrid soon, a full hybrid?
Well, if you look at what they are doing in the States with the Tacoma and with the 4Runner there, their top of the range TRD, which will be our GRS, that's a hybrid system.
Full hybrid, yes.
That's a full hybrid system. And there's a difference. There's a real difference between what that is versus what this is. But yeah, let's see what they do with the next generation Hilux and see if we're going to get a proper hybrid, because that is something I will be able to get my head around.
Very keen on that.
This,
yeah, you're giving it to me, but you're not giving it to me.
yeah, you're just teasing me now. And I don't like a tease. Yeah. But yeah, guys, Anton here from Adventure Africa, and we've got Tony here from Adventure Africa Training and Tours. And please, if you like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and give us a shout. Tell us what you think about Toyota Hilux's mild hybrid, or what do they call it?
V-active technology.
V-active technology. Guys, thanks for watching, and thanks, Tony.
Cool. Cheerio, guys.
Cheers.